Hi folks, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge. Let's get to work with the worker. This is a new take on a classic knife. This is designed by Arthur Brem. He's a YouTube friend of mine. We chat every once in a while, although of course I've never met him because I've never been to Germany, and he's from Germany. And he works at a knife factory. He's very familiar with knives. He's been doing YouTube reviews for a while. And he used to do a lot of reviews in English and in German. I think he's more doing German nowadays. I'm not sure if that's accurate or if I just haven't been noticing the English ones or not. I know a little bit of German, so I can sort of follow along on German knife review video. Not always. Anyhow, this knife. This is his take on a classic folder. It's got a backlock. We've got 4 different handle styles, of course, the handle material. This is blue G10 and carbon fiber layers, and with the curvature, you get sort of what looks like lines on there. You can also get it in black G10. You can get it in bone that has been dyed green. And you can get it in snake wood. So you've got lots of very good options. I like those options. G10, G10 carbon fiber, wood, and bone. You can get the look that you want. Of course, not all the colors that you want, like the bone's only in green, so that's the only one you've got for the bone. But that's more options than a lot of knives have. We've got the front bolster here in steel. We've got Bowler N690 blade, which I really like. I consider that a mid-grade steel, and it is very corrosion resistant, which is a big plus for a lot of people. We've got an option for a pocket clip, and it's right side only, or you can carry it in a pouch, a leather sheath. Pocket clip does not work when you're wearing it in the leather sheath. It just doesn't fit quite right. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and just a reminder, I only allow 1 advertisement to interrupt the video. That does help my channel out with the funds that's necessary to purchase knives and purchase equipment and stuff like that. Although this specific knife did come to me directly from QSP, so I did not have to pay for it. But like always, I am totally committed to giving as objective a review as is humanly possible. So stick around. The full review's coming to you right now. Beep. All right, here's the box that it comes in. I really like that they have these nice pulls on the side of a lot of their boxes now. It makes it so easy to open. Of course, their card, I'll show you the specs in just a minute, but if you want a close look at this, you can just pause the video right here to take a look at that. And it comes in a leather sheath. Now, it doesn't fit very well in the leather sheath when the pocket clip is on. And so the first thing I'd recommend is, if you want to carry it with the leather sheath, which is a fairly nice leather sheath, take the pocket clip off and it'll come in and out of the sheath much easier. It's a nice snug fit as it is. A fairly thick piece of leather. Nice traditional kind of leather punching on there. And of course the QSP logo. It's not a bad sheath at all. Not super great or anything, but not bad at all, especially for the price. And there's the knife itself. Let's do a size comparison with the Ontario Rat, like I always do. So there you go. If we line up those pivot pins, it's not that much smaller than an Ontario Rat 1, that is. It's got a blade that's made out of Bowler N690 stainless steel, which is a very good stainless steel for EDC carry, because you get a good steel quality in terms of the performance of the edge, and you've got very high corrosion resistance, higher than most knives have, especially in the sort of mid category of the stainless steels. This isn't a budget stainless steel. It's a step up from it to a mid-grade, and we've got a full flat grind here. We've got a nice little sharpness choil there, fairly straight edge, so this is like a sheepfoot design. And backlock is right in there. Rock solid. There's no play up and down. side to side. It's got ceramic ball bearings in there. I don't think I'm going to take this knife apart to show you the insides. I'll take the handle scales off and let you see that. So here's my T6 screwdriver. And let's see if they did any skeletonizing on this thing. Oh, that G10 is a nice snug fit. No, of course there's no skeletonizing. I can look inside there. That doesn't want to come off. I wonder if they used an adhesive in there. Let's take the other side off too. There we go. So those are off. There we go. So that side comes off without any problems. There's oil in there. That's nice. And yeah, here's screws here that hold it together. Oh, there you go. I just felt it move. There we go. And there's oil behind there as well. So nice, solidly built knife. And I like this quite a lot. And of course, there's the back lock button, for lack of a better word. Push that in, and it causes that to raise, and that makes it free to fall. So it just wants to fall when your fingers are out of the way. It's got very smooth action in there. Of course, there's always a little bit of pressure of the back lock on the tang of the blade in there when you're opening and closing it. But if you release that tension, they've done a very good job of designing this for very good smooth action. Forward stainless steel bolster, and then you see it becomes the inside liners in there. Like I said, G10 with carbon fiber. That's got a nice look to it. I like that color that they chose, the blue with the carbon fiber. And there's a close-up look. You can, of course, see the lanyard hole there. Got that nice looking carbon fiber. The edges here are rounded just a little bit, so it's very comfortable in hand. It fits, large, extra large hands just fine, and people with smaller hands are also not going to have a problem with this. It's not super thick and it's not super deep, so quite nice that way. And the pocket clip is a deep carry pocket clip. It's got the button screws in there, which I don't prefer, but they put enough space in there that it goes in and out of a pocket fairly well. And a nice little scoop there to catch on the pocket. And let's demonstrate that next. And as you can see, it wants to climb over, and there you go. It's a little bit stronger of a spring than I prefer. It takes a little bit extra force to push down. That's being super nitpicky though. It climbs over just fine, not much showing, especially on a pair of blue jeans. It's not a show-off kind of knife at all. It's nice deep carry that way. And the pocket clip, totally functional, nothing wrong with it, except for it might be a little bit strong. We've got Torx T8 screws there, T6 screws here to take it apart. And we've got a nice blade. It's got a polished kind of satin grind that they polished a bit. There's the nail nick. That makes it easy to open the knife. When it's in closed position, you don't even really need it. Just grab and open. You never will have to push your thumbnail in there and move it, because ceramic ball bearings. Yeah, ceramic ball bearings, you don't really need much pressure to open it up. So you can use your pinky finger if you get your nail in there ever so easily. This is that classic back lock folder. A lot of places are calling this a gentleman's folder. And yeah, it'd be a good knife to take along, put in your lunch kit. People aren't going to get scared of you having a knife that looks like this because, it's not a piercing kind of knife. It doesn't look like a weapon at all. It looks like a tool, and that's exactly what it is. And with that full flat grind, even though the blade is a little bit thicker than 1/8 of an inch, it slices through stuff very well. I did a lot of testing with it. And the tip is good enough to, be able to do some work with the tip as well, because that corner is a nice crisp corner and it just worked very well. Alignment when it's closed, not bad. It's not perfect, but it's very good. Doesn't come close to the liners at all, and it's not going to rub on them, so it just works very well. Let's go over some more of the specs. Like I said, this is N690. That's Bowler, an Austrian company that makes this steel. Rockwell hardness on this stuff is around 59 to 60. Very good. And like I said, 17% chrome, very corrosion resistant, which is a great thing if you live near an ocean or other humid places in the world. Okay, just before we go over the dimensions, I should also mention the name right here on the blade. It's Arthur Brem. Arthur Brem has got a YouTube channel. He's out of Germany. He's a knife, he works at a knife factory himself, and he's done some knife work, knife designing and stuff, working with QSP. He's got several knives out with them, and this one's a nice design that I like. Let's go over all of the dimensions and information that way. I'll take this off the screen when I'm done that. The weight of this knife, 123 grams, 4.35 ounces. You add in a 37-gram sheath, that's 1.35 ounces. The edge, how sharp is it from the factory? 135 best. That's very, very good. I really like that. The cutting edge length is 8.28 centimeters. That's 3.26 inches, so 3¼ inches of cutting edge. Blade length is 8.98 centimeters, 3.54 inches, so basically 9 centimeters and 3½ inches. The thickness of the steel, measured here at the ricasso, it is 3.02 millimeters, which is 0.119 of an inch. So that's actually just a tiny, tiny bit under 1/8 of an inch. The blade depth, this measurement, and I usually measure it an inch up here, 2.17 centimeters, that's 0.855 of an inch. The thickness of the edge behind the grind, it's 0.57 millimeters, that's 22½ thousandths of an inch. I would like it to be closer to 20 thousandths, but this is very close, not bad at all. The grind angle, it's steeper here and more shallow here on both sides, so I measured it also an inch up, 16.4 degrees here, 21.2 degrees here. That's typical of humans sharpening knives, and then they turn it around and then the other side gets a different angle. It happens all the time. I would really like the knife industry to find a way to get that more consistent where you get the same grind angle. Find a way to get machines to sharpen knives, and wow, we're going to be much happier with knives. Not that that's a big deal. You can sharpen this at home and get the same angle all the way across. So that's the other option of doing slow guided sharpening, but that would increase the price of knives because the labor would go up quite a bit because it takes, a good amount of time to sharpen a knife by hand on a guided system as compared to sharpening it on a wheel that's turning right in front of you and just sliding it across and then double checking your work. That's about it. But we're talking about measurements here. Now for the handle length is 10.77 centimeters, 4.24 inches. Grip's about the same thing. The handle thickness, not counting the pocket clip, is 1.12 centimeters. That's 0.44 of an inch. So nice and thin, very convenient, especially when you got the pocket clip off. The handle depth, this measurement here, 2.67 centimeters, 1.05 of an inch. And when the knife is closed, that is 3.61 centimeters, 1.42 of an inch. Total length of the knife when the blade is deployed is 19.57 centimeters, 7.71 inches. So that's a good size for a knife. How many shekels is this thing going to set you back? Well, first off, you have to find it, and it's a little hard to find in Canada. SR knives had this one color, but they're out of stock, and they're charging 103 Canadian dollars for that. But in the United States, White Mountain Knives has got the best price. I usually shop there. They've got 3 different prices on the 4 different styles, depending on the handle here. $76.95 up to $84.88. So after the 10% discount with code CCE, you're talking $69.26 for the black G10 version and $76.39 for the snakewood, and I think the bone one is also the bigger price. In Europe, that's about 72 to 82 euros. You can get this knife in the UK as well at Heine Haynes. I'll have links down below for everything to make it easy for you to get them. It's not on Amazon, United States Amazon. They don't have this knife there. Not yet anyways. If you notice it there, please let me know and I'll put a link down below. But if you're in Canada, if you're Canadian and you buy this from White Mountain Knives, it'll come no problem. This will pass the border inspections with no concern whatsoever, because two-hand opening, it'll pass easily, easy, no problem. That is, if it gets inspected, which I've never had a package from White Mountain Knives get inspected. That's the price. Fit and finish, what I like about it, what's good, what's not good. I really like this knife. I think the fit and finish is done very well. The seam here between the bolster and the G10 is nice and tight. And that's even on a removable G10 or bone or wood, or this carbon fiber with G10. So that's a really good job. The lanyard hole, they could have maybe chamfered this edge a little bit, but it looks nice to me. The lock and the machining here, it's very nice and close. You don't have any edges that are sharp to the touch. Very well done. Pocket clip, comfortable. I already talked about that in some detail. Just the look of the knife is quite well done. I like this plunge that's on a bit of an angle here. So that's quite well done. I like that the information on here, like it says the steel type and Arthur's signature there, and the QSP, they're not big and bold and in your face. I prefer it to be nice and subtle like this. That's a good thing. It's comfortable in hand in just about any grip that you want to grip it with. So it's got a good look to it. It's got good hand feel. It's not too heavy. It's a very good choice for humid environments because this stainless steel's got that high chromium content, so it doesn't rust easily. All the other budget steels rust more easily than this. Most of the premium super seals rust more easily than this. It's just very few exceptions. I like the sheath option. That looks good. And it's a knife that won't scare too many people. At least it shouldn't. If you're taking this to cut apart your apple in your lunchroom, people should not get afraid of this. But you can never account for all people, right? Because people are people. But it's a good classic style knife. It's sort of a new take on an old school folder, which I really, really like a lot. And made to very high tolerances. Very smooth. Looks great. The fit and finish is better than other folders that I've seen like this. Knives like this that I had growing up that look a bit like this, they were never this nice. Accounting for inflation and everything, those knives cost more than this one. So, I really like this quite a lot. What are the cons? The only cons that I can mention are that I wish it was a tiny bit thinner behind the grind. Not a big deal. That's a small thing. And the pocket clip there, it's just, I'd like flush screws on there. That's being picky. And it's sometimes a little bit, depending on the type of pants you're wearing, it's harder to get the pants underneath there, like lighter, like business suit pants and stuff, slacks. It might grab a little bit tight, but that's not too hard to fix. You could put something underneath here and, give it just a little bit of a pry just to help. What you're really actually doing is you're weakening the spring right here. So you really don't want to do much of that, but you could make it so that it opens more easily and lets your pocket go in there. Not a big deal. You can just use it without the pocket clip completely, or use it without the pocket clip and a sheath. But I don't think many people in a business suit are going to wear this. But that's a good outdoor carry choice, which I like an awful lot. So there you go, the Worker. Arthur Brem, thank you very much for this design. QSP, thanks for making it. It's available in all 4 of the handle options at White Mountain Knives. So without any further ado, I'm just going to thank you for watching this little video. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And yeah, I know it's not that little of a video. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb. Bye for now.